Hi, this is Redouane of the Algerian band Lelahell, and you are listening to The Bloodshed with a Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Hi, Redouane. It's a great pleasure to have you here at The Bloodshed with the Vampire on Metal Messiah Radio International.
Hi, hello, Vampire.
It's a great pleasure to have you here. Redouane, you was born in Algiers, which is the capital city of Algeria in North Africa. And not to forget, Algiers is located on the bay of the Mediterranean Sea and is a very important port. How did you decide to become a metal musician, and who or which bands inspired you?
I started first to listen to metal. First, I started with hard rock, AC/DC and Scorpions and Motorhead, because my older brother was listening to that music. So I started to discover those bands, and after that I started also with heavy metal, extreme metal, thrash metal. In the early 90s I got some friends who were also listening to that music, and we decided to play that music.
Okay, how is the metal scene in Algeria, and how is the support by the fans, but at the same time, how is the disapproval by the government and especially by the Muslims?
Algeria is more modern than you think, about governments don't care about that. It's modern, and playing music in Algeria is like difficulties. We have many difficulties, but most of the difficulties those are like difficulties of non-metal countries, like the lack of venues, the lack of radio station, label, and all that stuff. Like, for example, like Asia or like Egypt or Morocco, and we all have same problems. This is why the non-metal scene are not so developed like the other.
Okay, but how do you do as a metal band to do the metal shows there in Algiers or anywhere in the area without getting a lot of people trying to boycott you, especially the religions, no?
No, it's not like you imagine that. We have our fans, we have our support, we have our shows are full of people, but religious don't care about that, They are more occupied by politics and all that stuff. Don't care about metal musicians. So we are playing that music since, for me, more than 25 years. I never had a problem with religious.
Redouane, you are no stranger to the Algerian metal scene, as you has already been in other bands including Thrash Doom, Neanderthalia, death metal band Litham, grindcore band Carnavage, and you was last part of the technical brutal death metal band Devast. Most of these, or I believe all these bands, were formed in your hometown of Algiers, and that has also been a part of the Algerian metal scene history. What is it like to have been part of all these great bands, and are they still alive and performing, these bands?
To be part of this band is like to be part of the history of the Algerian metal scene, because all of those bands have something special for the scene. Like Litham was one of the biggest band of the 90s. We released the first Algerian metal album. Neanderthalia was one of the first Algerian metal band. Carnavage was the first grindcore band.
If I'm not wrong, Devast were still playing until like a year or two, right?
Devast, I think that they stopped it because ADF, the guy, the founder of the band, founded a new band with the binary name, 100, something like that. I think that Devast is currently on hold.
But correct me, Redouane. I've seen that these band are consistent of guys that has born in Argentina. Is it true?
Yes, yes, the guy was in Argentina, now he's in Europe. They made a tour recent last month in Europe, and now Idir, the founder of Devast, is now in Europe. But he's working on a new project, and it's strange name with the binary 1000 or something like that. And they have a concept like an alliance concept, and it's a very good Islam death metal band.
Redouane, the band Lelahell are one of Algerian newer extreme metal groups formed in 2010, and following the completion of Intihar, that's mean self-killed EP, fellow Algerian metalers Slave Blaster and Nihil completed the group in January 2012. In August of that same year, Goressimo Records, the Polish, officially released the band debut's EP. You hire a Slave Blaster on drums and Nihil on bass to complete the group in the beginning of 2012. Did you knew them from before or has played with them in some other bands?
For Slave Blaster was for a period was the drummer of Devast.
Okay.
And yes, and we were friends before. He was also drummer of black metal band called the Cult of Satanakia, and I recorded them their first EP, and so we were in contact before. And with Nihil, he was also a friend, so it was easy to contact them for playing in Lelahell.
Were they involved in the making of the EP All Intihar that you released in August 2012 by this Polish Goressimo Records, or was this a one-band album release?
It was as a one-man band release.
Yeah.
After, yes, I started first to record that EP, and after finishing the recording and all that stuff, they joined the band. Because in the beginning, I had the idea to start a one-man band only, but it's really difficult to play death metal as a one-man band, I think.
In March of 2013, the band played for the first time in France as part of the school Krusher Death Fest, and in summer of the same year, Lelahell embarked for their first European tour, which took them to France, Czech Republic and Slovakia. How was it for you and the rest of the band to be on the road and to have hit Europe for the first time, and how has the European fans received you guys?
When we played in France in the school Krusher Death Fest, it was our first gig outside Algeria, and it was in Paris in the club.
If I may ask, was it a big festival?
Not so big, it was an underground festival, but it was in a very known place in Paris called the Club. It's an underground place, but a lot of good band played there. And the show was great. People liked a lot the music of Lelahell. And after that, for our tour, we played in France, Czech Republic and Slovakia. It was our first tour, our first experience for such a kind of tour. And we learned a lot of things like traveling with by vans and all the touring stuff. It was the first experience, and very, very nice experience.
Okay. The band's first full-length album, All Insane, The Rebirth of Abderrahmane, was released August 2014 via American horror Pain Gore Death production, and at the same time, the band went on a tour in support of the band's new album at that time and played at Malta's biggest metal event, Malta Death Fest 3 in September, and took over Europe in December and performed in Switzerland, France, Germany, Poland, and Czech Republic. How was the show gone in support of All Insane, The Rebirth of Abderrahmane? And did you manage to do this trip on your own, or were they fixed through Horror Pain Gore Death production, Redouane?
Yes, the tour of supporting the first full length was a great experience. It was organized by a Romanian friend. He is very known in the underground metal scene. His name is Gore. and he organized tour. He was a tour manager and organized all the stuff, booking shows, van and the backline and all that stuff. He done a great job. We played for the first time in Germany, for the first time in Switzerland, Poland, and people really appreciated the music of Lelahell. It was really, really a very nice experience.
What does the label meant for you, Horror, Paint, Gore, that production, I mean, in support of this album?
Let's say for a first album, it was a good label. He released the album, he make a good promotion. It's not a big label, but for a first release for Lelahell, it was I think, in my opinion, it was the perfect label.
How was the album turned out in a general, and are you satisfied of the acceptance and the album sales?
Yes, almost copies were sold out. I just have few copies now.
It's great.
It's very nice. We sold also a lot of copies on tour and also by internet. It's very satisfying.
Redouane, in January 2016, you released Highway to Lelahell, a 52 minutes documentary, and this movie talks about your career enriched for 23 years, which blends with the history of metal in Algeria from the Black Decade until today. A great masterpiece covering your career and the history of the Algerian metal scene. Why and when you decided to release this documentary?
The main reason is to show to the world and also to the young generation how it was and how it's still difficult to play that kind of music in Algeria. In the early days, there was no internet, there was no technology, just had some cassettes to album, and sometimes, really rare, we got some magazines, and it's like we were also dreaming, like we were thinking that one day we took our guitars and we will be like Metallica, and it was really nice. It was like an innocent dream, you know. And I decided the main reason is to mark for history, you know, to let something for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it in the end of 2015 with some friends that helped me a lot to make it. And we made it, and it was really a good success. I have a lot of you on YouTube. We had also made DVD, and that we sold a lot of copies of the documentary on tour. And it was really, really good experience to make a documentary about my career.
Yes, that's very good. Very good. I must really, by the heart, congratulate you for this.
Thank you. It was really important for me and to make it at that moment, because it was appropriate moment also for telling to the new generation, for the new metal musician in Algeria, if you have something, if you want to play metal, if you want to make a band, if you want to make a release, make it now. Don't wait, don't make excuses, or that's the metal, you know.
Fantasies of delusion, population, living imagination, mind, distortion, innovation, all the disorder of what you suffer. Can't say never, welcome to Gorilla, welcome to Paradise.
Lelahell released their second full-length album, Alif, on June 15, 2018 via the legendary Slovakian label Metal Age Production. The album contains 10 tracks of intensive death metal riffs with Algerian folklore accent combined with fast blast beats and technical rhythms. Redouane, could you please present us the new album Alif tracking list, please?
Alif is the second album of Lelahell. Alif means the first letter of Algerian alphabet. I decided to name it like that to open a new chapter for Lelahell. That's the beginning, to announce like beginning of a new chapter for Lelahell, because the music is different than what we have done before. Faster, it's more technical, it's also more melodic. It contains a lot of Algerian influences, musical influences. Also, we have introduced some rhythms, ethnic rhythms, but I think that not so much. It's just to find the good balance between the death metal and the Algerian music, which is not so easy, because if you add too much of local influences, it will not sound like metal music. First track is called Paramnesia. Paramnesia is confusion between the dream and the reality. So I write it in a period like that's happened to every one of us, when sometimes we don't know what's in our life, what is real, what was not real. So it's retranscribed this kind of feeling. The music, it's punchy. It's not so technical, but I think it's punchiest song of the album. And this is why we decided to make a video clip of that song. The second song is Hedius Fatus. Hedius Fatus is very melodic song. It's also very fast. The third song is an intro. It's the intro as upcoming song. It was composed by Michael Stacko, Polish music composer, which worked with a lot of death metal Polish band. So after that, the song is called Ribat Salam. Ribat Salam is talking about some people who were killed in the 90s, and it talks about what we call in Algeria the Black Decade, because in Algeria in the 90s there was 10 years of the Muslims. We had a lot of problems, and it was kind of civil war. So we suffered a lot about that, and the song is talking about that. And the music is really fast. Start with an instrumental intro, inspired from a song of the Arabic, Andalus Arabic music. The song is called Lama Badaya Tafanna. So we took just the melody and adapted to the music of Lelahell. After the intro of the song, you can hear the talent of the drummer in that song, because the drummer, as you know, is Hans Grossman.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, who recorded that album. Hans Grossman is very known in the death metal scene. He played with Necrophagist. The fifth song is Adam the First. Adam the First is talking about Adam and Eve. It's the story of the humanity, and are talking about it with the version that we know. That I think that there are many versions of that story, but it's almost the same. It's the creation of humanity, and the music here, I think it's the perfect mix with, let's say, the traditional music and the death metal. There is a rhythm here, a special rhythm called Malfouf, dum tak tak dum tak tak. It's an Egyptian, I think it's an Egyptian rhythm, and guitar is following that rhythm. I think it's very punchy. We find the good mixture between those two musics. For me, it's a very good fusion between death metal and the traditional music, without being too much oriental, without being too much folk. Yes, the next track is called The Fifth. This song, in my opinion, is it's like a continuity of what we have done in the first album. It's fast with a lot of blast beats, and the song's not brutal but very rhythmic song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the fifth because it's talking about the fifth season. The fifth season is the season that don't exist, that was created by human, and that will be the only season in the future with all this technology and all this stuff that human will create his environment. So to that there is the seventh song. It starts with Algerian music rhythm. It's called Nasrafat. Nasrafat is part of the Algerian classic music, and we have put it in the album just like talking about the identity of Lelahell. It's ternary rhythm. Instead of it's 5/8/8 rhythm. So we don't have such rhythms in extreme metal. But we try to experiment at it. And after that, the second part of the song is called Martyr. In Algeria, there was the war with France in the previous century, and this talking about the Algerian martyr of this Algerian war with France. And in the lyric, we took some sentences of Algerian martyr in France, some French language, and the music is really it's very melodic, but also very brutal. The eighth track is called Litham. Litham was my band before. It's like a reminder about my old band, and this song is different. For the first time, you have used the clean guitar sound for the first time for Lelahell. It's also very slow rhythm. I think it's really different than the previous songs and what we have done before. I also invited a friend who was the lead guitarist of Litham to play the solo in that song. I think people that were fans of Litham will like this song a lot. And the ninth song is called Parasite. This song is the Parasite of the album. It's totally different. It's really simple and really straight. It's really different than the other song. It's the shortest song of the album, and it's talk about the parasites that are governing this world. And the last song is Impunity of the Mutants. It's an instrumental song. There's three parts. The first one is really doom part, very slow. The second one is very melodic, and the third one is fast death metal. That's it.
Redouane, I want to thank you very much for this great introduction of this great new album, A Live, for presenting us all the track, the 10 tracks, I mean.
Thank you.
Okay, each Lelahell release is conceptually linked to the character of Abderrahmane, yet focusing on another evolution step, another chapter in his own book. The new album, A Live, is now focusing on Abderrahmane's first step in his new life, just like a child learning to speak, walk, learning about the world around him. Yet this is full of fuss and fears. That's why Abderrahmane needs to save himself from all these dangers. Redouane, how was the song written gone? And since you are the band leader and the guitarist and the vocalist, you are the only one doing the lyrics?
Yes, I'm the only one doing the lyrics and the music, because Lelahell is like continuity of what I have done before. More experience and with more years also. The music of Lelahell is coming from my heart, from my experiences, from my life. I got inspiration from my daily life, and each, as you said, each Lelahell release is linked to the character who's called Abderrahmane. We said it Abderrahmane. Abderrahmane is the name of my father and my son. In the cover of Alif, there is the child. It's the picture of my son, and he's called Abderrahmane. We will continue to develop this character. In the first EP, it was the suicide, and the album, it was the rebirth of this character, and now it's the evolution of Abderrahmane. The first step in his life, learning, speak, walking, and learning about the world around him.
So if I may understand, this is like a continuation of the EP and what has been written on the second album.
Yes, it's continuity, and there is, and in the also the third album there will be a continuity on each future album.
Okay, were you also in charge of doing the bass parts, or has them been done by your current bass player Ramsey Course?
That album I recorded all the guitars, all the bass and vocals, and in the solo I invited many musicians. There was some old friends from the local scene.
Okay.
And also, I invented.
But where stay Ramsey here?
Ramsey is, for the moment, for that album, he's a live musician. But in the future, I can say that he's very talented musician. He play all instruments. He play in like 4 or 5 bands in the local scene. He's everywhere.
Okay.
Yes.
Too busy.
Yes, he sing, he play drums, and he's very talented guy. And I think for the future, for the music of Lelahell, it will be good to take this all those talent for the band. So I think that he will be also taking part to the composition of the music of Lelahell.
The album, Alle Future, one of the most admired players in the world of the technical death metal. We're talking about Hans Grossmas, ex-Negrophagus, ex-Obscura, Alkaloid, Bottled in Science, Hate Eternal on drums, and was mixed and mastered at the famous Hard Recording Studio by Stoic and Wojtek Wisławski. These guys who also work with Behemoth, Vader, Decapitated, Hate, etc. How did you nail this collaboration between you and Hans Grossman as the band studio drummer? And why have you hired Mark Dizron of New Stanton as the band new drummer instead of Hannes Grossman?
For that album, yes, I had Hannes Grossman, because for the moment we didn't have a drummer for that period. And I was in contact with Hans Grossman, so we exchanged some emails, and I gone to Germany to record drums. First we were going to make it by email, but it was not the same, so I decided to fly Germany to his city, to his studio, and I think that the result is really great, because there's also the human feeling in that album. That also we had Mark Jerson from New Stanton on the tour, because Hans Grossman is a professional musician, and he has very full schedule and also very busy. And we had Mark Jerson, because he's also talented guy. He plays really fast with all his muscles. He's a 2 meters tall man. Yes, when I met him, I told him that it's for the first time that I see someone playing so fast with so much energy, because when drummer play death metal, like play bass beat, he play fast, but not all his muscles, but Jason plays really, really good. So it was a very good experience. We made very good shows. We just rehearsed only one time. And after the third show, it was perfect.
Redouane, are you planning to stay with Mark? I mean, you Stanton are parting ways. I think this is going to be their last year or months that they're going to be playing. They are doing the forward shows already.
Yeah. Actually, our previous drummer rejoined Slave Blaster, joined the band. We played 2 months ago in Spain. We played also last month in Algiers. So he is now a part of the band again.
Okay, he came back.
Yeah, he came back. To the band. Yeah.
Okay, you recorded at this time at the famous Hertz recording studio instead of the Anthropocide Studio with Ivan. How was everything gone with Stawik and Wojtek?
Yes, I was in contact with them before because in 2015 I made some recording metal workshop in Poland in their studio. So after the recording of the album, I heard another engineer, but the result was not so good. So I decided to contact them directly, and they remixed the album and mastered it, and the result was totally amazing, very punchy, very clean. I think it's the Hertz Studio sound that is recognized with album like Vader, Decapitated, Hate, and the guys are really professional and really working hard for death metal music.
So you're very satisfied and very happy with the end result?
Yes, totally satisfied, 100%. Yes, it's difficult to work on distance by emails, but the guys were very patient and they made a great job.
Just was sad to all exercise.
EP, Al Intihar, was released by the Polish Goressimo Records in 2012, and the debut full-length All Insane, the rebirth of Abderrahmane in 2014 by the American horror pain Gore Death production, and now for 2018 album Alif, you guys went with Slovakian Metal Age production. Did you only assign one record deal with each record label, or were you looking for a much better deal? For each album you have changed record label.
For the EP and the first album, we got one deal for each album, and for that album we have an option. I mean that when we record the third album, Metal Age Production will be the first label that will listen to the result, and after that we can say if we sign a second deal for the third album with them. So they have a kind of exclusivity for the next album.
Okay, that's very great to hear. As long as you're happy, they're doing a great job, then I'm sure there's gonna be another great release. I think, in a year or two from now?
Yeah, it's I think Metal Age Production is very old label. It's now this year is 25th anniversary of the label.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it's coinciding as also I play music. I play metal since 25 years. It's a coincidence, I think. Yes, but they have done very, very good release, and it's an underground label, but very professional. They have very good distribution, and they know a lot of good people in the music business. And I think that it's a good opportunity for Lelahell, and it will be we will have more exposure with this label. And I think also now a band have also to work on their own promotion. It's not only the label, because now we have all the tools that can help us to promote. So each band have to do their job. It's the job of the label, but I think it's the band have to work on their promotion also by themselves.
Okay, what a great album cover artwork, which was done by K Illustration, who also worked with Aborted, MMR, Death Angel, Sodom, etc. Could you tell us more about this? I know you have just say a little things about this cover artwork. I mean, this is a great cover artwork. I mean, what a great job by these guys. How have you contacted them? How has you guys get in touch with each other? Have them done any previous job for you in the past?
No, it was Bjorn from the K Illustration done. It was the first time, and the guy is very professional and know how to illustrate things. Like 2 or 3 attempts, and he made it, and you can see that the result is really, really good and really professional. And he also worked with big bands, so they have also good experience. And as I said, in the cover you can see the desert, you can see Abderrahmane, you can see it's really illustrate the concept of each album of Lelahell, and the concept of this second album Alif is Abderrahmane, the first step of Rahman in his life, learning to speak, walk, all that stuff.
One thing I forgot to ask so far, Redouane,
Yeah.
in how many formats is this new release available?
For the moment in CDs, and also in all digital platform, Deezer, Spotify, and all that stuff. There is a possibility to release it also via LP.
Vinyl, yes.
Yes, vinyl. Maybe in some month, but not sure. We are in negotiation with Metal Age Production for that.
Okay, the band just released official video for the promotional single Paramecia, and you have invited Tom Fountainhead as a solo guest. Please, if you don't mind, tell us more about this video.
Yes, we have two videos. We have Amnesia. Amnesia was made by Guilherme Henrique. He's a Portuguese guy. 2016 in November, we fly to Portugal and we go to his studio to make that video. He's a young guy but very talented. He made also a lot of videos for death metal bands, and he know his job, and he's very talented guy. I think that the result is perfect for that sound. Very good music video. And the second video was for his lyric video of the song Inis Fatius, was made by P2 Korea from Argentina, and also the result is very good.
Okay, if I may ask, when did you release this lyric video?
We released it 3 weeks ago.
I can't remember. I have seen it on YouTube.
It's like you can. Yes, it's on YouTube. It's illustrated, desert, and it's very good music video. Very good job.
Okay, great. The band has just played at the Metal United Worldwide in May 5th in your hometown of Algiers. How was this show gone, and have you played songs of the new album since the album wasn't officially released yet?
Yeah, we have played 2 songs. We have played the songs Inis Fatius. The concert was one day after the release of the lyric video, so people really liked a lot the lyric video and they enjoyed to see it on live. And we played the song The Fifth from the album. And this project, Metal United Worldwide, is an amazing project. It's to play metal concert the same day in many countries, and Algeria was the only North African countries that made this concert. It was hard, but we made it. We made it for to say that the Algerian metal scene is still alive, and there's a lot of new promising band, and we are here. We are still here.
Redouane,
Yes.
have you already done album release party show?
In the future, you will learn more about it in some days. It's a surprise for our local fans, for Algerian fans.
If you plan to have one, it's gonna be in Algiers.
Yes, of course, for our fans, our local fans, because I think that each band get first support will get from the local scene. And it's a gift for our fans, because our Algerian fans, because we don't play so much in Algeria, and it's difficult to organize gigs and all stuff with venues, as I said before. It's like a gift for them. And there is also another surprise coming soon that we will announce it in our page, also especially for the Algerian metal fans.
Which you don't want to announce now.
Stay in contact.
Come
some
on!
days.
Give me the premiere. According to my notes, the band has already scheduled 2 shows. First, the one on November 2nd in Saratoga, Spain. And the second one is November 8th in Slovenia. Are you guys going to be touring for the summer? And where else will the band be playing in support of the new album, Alif?
Yes, actually, we're planning tour, but are still working on the date. The date are not fixed yet. There are only two shows which are fixed. It's the festival Iberian Warrior Metal Fest in Zaragoza. It's the 2nd and 3 November, but we will play the 3rd November for the festival. And the second show, which is confirmed, is 8th November in Maribor. It's very nice venue, very big venue, and we hope that there will be a lot of people coming to that show.
That's in the Ljubljana?
No, it's in Maribor.
Oh, that's another outside Ljubljana.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not in the capital, but it's very, very nice city and
Yeah, I was
very
there
big.
last year for the Metal Days. Very great country, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, very beautiful. And this venue is called Gustav Picana. It's very big venue and very nice with good equipments, good lights, and yes, there's also big bands that played there. So I think that it will be a very good show.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Okay, I think we cover a whole lot, Redouane, and I want to thank you once again very much for, this great opportunity to, to give us this great interview. And I want to hand you over the microphone of Metal Messiah Radio for you to invite all your friends to support the band and to buy this great new album, Olive, and to attend all the shows the band has coming up.
Thank you for your support, Vampire. And I say to all Lelahell fans and to all the metalheads, support Lelahell or die.
So what about the merchandises before you leave?
They will can buy the new CD. We'll drop the link future for purchasing the CDs. We will also have some merchandising T-shirts and some goodies. So stay in contact in our page, facebook.com Lelahell, for all that stuff.
Okay, for all of you out there, it's a must. You have to get this new album, Olive, in your collection. This great Algerian death metal band, Lelahell. What a great music. I've listened to this whole album from the track number 1, Paramanesha, up to the last one. They're all great music. I love Ignis Fatus, I love Ribat Salam, I love Adam the First, the Fifth. There's all great music. And once you start listening to this album, you keep on repeat. Try to keep enjoying this great album. And I want to congratulate you again, Redouane, for this great work and keep doing this great music, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very appreciated all those compliments. It's I think that it's the satisfaction of each musician when you hear all those words, and that what's keeping us doing that music is people like you that support our music and all that stuff, and people that promote this music. And thank you so much for your support, and see you next time.
You're always welcome. Like I said in the beginning, Redouane, we are here to work for you guys, to promote your music, the music that takes you so long to work on. Yeah. When somebody just grab a CD in their hand, they don't know how long, how much sacrifice this takes to get this thing in their hands. And once again, I thank you and all these great metal musicians for still, working so hard to get us all this great music out. Thank you very, very much. I'll be in Europe for the summer, mid-July to mid-August. We'll be going to Germany to some festival in Holland as well. As you say, you have a surprise. Let's say, I hope, I wish that Lelahell can play between that time in Europe sometime so I can drop over to see you guys in live.
Yeah, why not? But yes, it will be really nice to meet you also in
person,
the real life. Yeah.
Okay,
thank
say
you
hello
so
to all the guys from the band, and like I always say, bye-bye, metal on.
Bye-bye, ciao, thank you. Hi, this is Redouane of the Algerian band Lelahell, and I'd like to congratulate Metal Messiah Radio International with its 10th year's anniversary.
Fire, it is fire. It's just an erroneous space. We love the way